Oh.
And understanding and caring, yeah.
Only me.
Yeah, right.
Thank
Good
you.
morning. I am Uzom Sokijiko, and it's great to be back here. Like you said,
right.
We are always here to give you important information as it concerns us and it relates to our development and our growth. So stay tuned.
All right. I think you know, my moment. They didn't. You know, it's good to know. Now, talking about the rule of law and democracy, and what we have been seeing in the past few days,
right,
has been everything short of what you can call a quality democracy. It's really maybe an offshoot of the kind of democracy we pray around here, but it's more like power play. You know, right here in Osun State, two political parties laying claim to the rights of who occupies. By the way, more like the APC is saying, some of their chairman who was sacked by the court 2-3 years ago have been reinstated according to them by the court, so they will take over or, you know, resume their mandate through the office. And, you know, the PDP, the government in power, that's the party in power in the state, are saying that will be illegal. You don't have that right. There was nowhere where that reinstatement thing was expressly stated. So whatever you are doing will be out of the law. So it degenerates. And, you know, the issue is everybody saw the signs that something bad was going to happen because of the tension of the back and forth. They don't come, we will come. Don't go, we will go. You don't have the right, we have the right. And then that happened on Monday. And 6 persons have been officially confirmed. I love their lives, even when there are figures that are higher than that. It's sad. The police said they are going to go after the perpetrators. I said it on this program yesterday. It's sounding like quite a shame that, you know, we all, it's everybody's fault. We all watched what played out and we knew it was going to be like that, but nobody stood above board to say, not under my watch, especially the police. I think while they might not have been responsible for the death, but I feel, many persons feel they could have done better if actually you go to all those secretariats, you know. But the thing is, I'm not sure the police knew how to act on this matter. They don't know where to stand, so that they will not be seen to be playing a particular card for some persons. But then they have a duty, possibly stationed at all those secretariats. Whoever wants to enter or whatever you want to do or you don't want to do, let there be no fracas or no violence. But that didn't happen.
Well, the truth, like you said, is the police actually probably didn't know where to stand. You know, when it's related to political parties now, it feels like this hand is trying to talk to them, this other hand is trying to talk to them. They don't actually know who to follow because we have the bigger from the federal might, we have the state might, and all the rest. So it's crazy, but they it's something that they have a duty to protect human lives. But like you said, the kind of democracy we practice here is not something actually we can be proud of, because most persons, or these are policemen or our force people, tend to follow the political saga of the country. That's just the truth. They tend to toe the line or the path.
Power play.
Exactly.
And we can do more better. Same issues, you know,
in Lagos.
Different contexts, by the way, in Lagos. Power play. The same party. In this case, you know, a speaker was removed. He has come back to say he hasn't been removed properly, and he's, as far as he's concerned, he remains the speaker. I'm not a speaker. He's Miranda. He's there right now. You know, and then there was degeneration at the plenary, and then the DSS were invited. Oh, they were not invited. They were invited by the speaker. The speaker said no. Okay, they were invited by the clerk of the house, and you are going to enter the house. Oh, you can't enter. Stay where you are supposed to stay. You don't have the right. And then we learned there was rumor of resignation by the speaker. Oh, she was being forced to resign. Where she's from is where the constituency or the part of Lagos where she's from is where the governor is from. So that would be unfair to the other person. So let her resign. Let somebody from Speaker Mudasir Obasa's side be the one to emerge the speaker, and all of these things back and forth. Many letters of resignation has flooded the public spaces yesterday, and this is part of what we are seeing. Oh, the GSA in Lagos didn't approve of the removal of the speaker. Oh, the president is angry at the removal of the, all of. And by the way, you remember the State House of Assembly, the members of the APC, they traveled to Abuja to have a meeting. Now they are back. And what happens to the business of the day in Lagos State as far as the State House of Assembly is concerned? It's a lot.
It's a lot. Like it feels like this week is just something else. Like this week has just been packed.
But then it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, it
is what it is. And on a rather sad note, maybe not too sad, but then in as much as about passing, two other statesmen, although they had their political inclinations as well, in the past 5 days or thereabout, two of them has passed on. Payo Adebanjo passed on at the age of 95, some said 96, and just yesterday the death was announced of Edwin Clark, a heavy juggernaut in the South. And these are two individuals in their right that whatever they believe in, they don't keep quiet. That's one thing about them. Either it's for their region, either it's for their tribe, either it's national conversation, and they don't care who is in power. Whatever they believe in, rightly or wrongly, they make their and this their generation
is gradually fizzling away.
95, 97, and all of those persons, and these are the people that have obviously they are older than the country, and of course they witnessed from the independence to what we have right now. Many of them, but then our thoughts and prayers are with the families, and tributes have been pouring in all over the country.
Of course,
it speaks to what we do while we are here.
Celebration of life.
I think so as well. While the children will not be happy that their father has passed, but then they have that solace in the kind of life their father
lived,
grandfather, great-grandfather have lived. This will be it. We take this quick break. When we return, the program will continue. All right, we go straight to the front page of the dailies for today, and I will be starting from the Daily Trust newspaper. It has Boko Haram, U.S. probes aid to Nigeria. Boko Haram, U.S. probes aid to Nigeria. And with Araida, Ndume calls for investigation. Borno elders want NGOs sacked. Ndume calls for investigation, and Borno elders want NGOs sacked. I think we've not heard the last of these allegations about what the United States, that agency has. That you say USAID was a creation of. More like an agenda from the U.S. to interfere, or to, dictate what happens, or to be a part of every country that you say it is part of, because there'll be allegations by a congressman, not just from here, a congressman, I think Perry or so, congressman, who laid that particular accusation that this is part of what USAID has been used for in Nigeria. And many interventions that they've had in different countries, more like a small screen, like a camouflage of the bigger picture, according to him. And Alun Dume, ranking senator of the Federal Republic, has said, we should not just throw this under the carpet. It should be investigated, especially the role played by different NGOs that are being funded, because we learned, according to Perry, the USAID was involved in the funding of Boko Haram. And that's a very big security issue. That's what has been,
Nigerians have been going back and forth with it. Like, if truly this was part of it, that means Boko Haram was never an insurgency group, we get? It was something that it was intentional. It was intentionally planted. Some Nigerians have been saying that...
Some states insurgency, but they were funded, or they were created, allegedly by USAID, or by the US government through The USAID. These allegations,
it's a lot.
So we should really investigate it.
It should be investigated, yeah.
You know, it's not something, I think it's too big, it's too consequential to ignore.
Of course,
or to just let it slide.
That's been shaking the country for years now, you know,
for like 14 years right now.
The banditry is too much.
And it's still there. And the Boko Haram thing is now Hydra-headed. Different cells have been created out from it. That will be all from the Daily Trust for today.
And straight to the Vanguard, we have high special reports. We have high electricity costs choking teaching hospitals to death. Okay. High electricity costs choking teaching hospitals to death. We have Edwin Clark, 1927 to 2025. His last words: don't give up on making Nigeria better. Family. Okay, that's really a good one. We would not give up, actually. It's not even right to give up. Because the country is all ours. Yeah, giving up is not going to make...
I like that. It's ours.
Yes. Giving up is not going to change anything. So we have the writers. It
will change something at some point.
Giving up, really?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Giving up is not going to change anything.
We're not going to give up.
So we have, as Tinubu, Obasanjo, Jonathan, Atiku, Akpabio, Obi, governors, others mourn. Bayelsa directs all flags to fly at half-mast for 3 days. Okay. That's his, you know, his route. Boko Haram, U.S. to audit aid funds to Nigeria. We can't overflog this issue, actually, because it really needs to truly be talked about, investigated very, very well. NDDC, Group 1's organizers to desist from protest. NDDC, Group 1's organizers to desist from protests. Fears grow over Pope's health as Vatican cancels upcoming events. Fears grow over Pope's health as Vatican cancels upcoming events. And we have to sport. We have Charlie to watch Musa Kanu Pillars. And we have a cartoon there. We have Mr. and Mrs. Dear, the dietitian was here to remind you about... And the husband replies, he should look for another job. Why? Who needs a dietitian in this era of food scarcity? Okay, right. We get the picture there, right? You know, people just eat. Basically, trying to say people eat to survive now, not eat for the quality of the food.
Yeah.
Okay. And the top strip there we have, education suffers reduced allocations as NAS amends past 2025 budget. Education suffers reduced allocations as NAS amends past 2025 budget. Federal government commissions NDLEA's first barracks in Yola after 35 years. Okay. And military should be barred from elections in Nigeria, Jonathan. Military should be barred from elections in Nigeria, Jonathan. Is that, should we say that's advisable? To an extent, maybe yes, but to another extent, no, because somehow I feel people get calmer when they see the military. You know, police feels like, that's why they say police is your friend. Most persons, they're just already used to that police figure. But once you see an army man, he just comes down like, boom, and he stands. You know, there's another kind of thing that goes through the body and people just...
And I think that is what he's addressing. That you should get to the level that the military will not have any part to play, except maybe, according to the example that he gave, in some countries, just the lifting of sensitive materials from one place to the other. That's what we involve the Air Force, and maybe in remote and dangerous areas, that's where you get to have them. Not like they are now regular part of the security formation for today. And I think he has his point, that it should not be war, like war.
And but that is what our country has left it to.
That's why he's saying we need to do better.
Can we?
I think so.
We really need to do better. And the last story there we have, CBN directs banks to publish dormant accounts. CBN directs banks to publish dormant accounts. That will be all on the Vanguard this morning. Dormant accounts. Some of these dormant accounts have been funded, and some persons are using it to siphon money. You know, right? Yeah, you're looking at me like I actually know someone that's told me a story of one of his dormant accounts, and he was just like, let me just see today, you know, this try your luck, and he recharged and he worked and he checked his account balance, and he was seeing 2 point something million. He moved the whole money.
That your person and the one that told you should be invited by the NFIU.
Oh,
yeah. Or by their bank. If any money pops into your accounts, especially the ones that you are not expecting, and it's beyond the level of what we usually have, sometimes many persons have landed in trouble for money laundering for this particular case, especially when you don't get to report. You start spending. And now, by the time the issue happens and you are fingered as part of that crime, you now say, oh, I didn't know. People will ask you, when you saw that money, who did you inform? It's as, you know, some things that looks like manna, so to say. It's not really manna.
That's the thing in Nigeria.
You have never had $1 million in your account before. All of a sudden, you are seeing 5 million, 10 million, and you feel, oh, this is my time to enjoy. I hope the person will have good lawyers.
Some persons narrow it down to the bankers. So they use it to siphon money.
By the time that particular banker is pulled, your account will be fingered. How do you explain? It's as easy as that.
That's just the truth.
It will look good, so good for you, but maybe you can never. It might take 1 year for that thing to be done. Who do you tell? How will you explain? So we have just. So
it's actually good writing about dormant accounts, because a lot of atrocities are being committed with dormant accounts.
Even by active accounts. On active accounts, rather.
Yeah, sure, of course. That'll be all on the Vanguard.
Quickly, and lastly for today, let's look at what the Punch has for us. The Punch for today. We have the story, workers in 109 embassies groan over 6 months unpaid salaries. Workers in 109 embassies groan over 6 months unpaid salaries. The ministry's promises to clear arrears as ex-envoys key. Ministry promises to clear arrears, ex-envoys keys. You know, there's a lot when you're working with your embassy and you are being owed for 109 embassies are owing their staff members for 6 months, you know, and these are people that are working. These are people that are working at the interest of the country, right? So you now imagine that if some external aggressors, we approach them with a very juicy offer, they might be tempted. You can't be tempted, you know? These are people that are representing the country, you know, possibly from here or outside here. And 109, and you know why? Because they don't have ambassadors right now. Maybe that's one of the reasons. But then that's why they have the Foreign Affairs Ministry to take care of them. But if this is really true, as a Punch has reported this morning, it is not only bad, it is dangerous.
It is dangerous.
Because that means they can be infiltrated.
Of course.
By any criminal element with very juicy thing, just like you said, 6 months. What has been their lot? That is the issue. And so what quality of work will have been happening in that particular ministry? Because the staff have not been paid. Obviously, they won't have enough money to even run the office.
They will they make it just decide, come work.
All right. Still the Punch. Lagos Assembly says Tinubu's wife not involved in crisis. Good. Immigration arrest 40 illegal migrants in Oyo. And Ocean crisis, police go after killers. LG polls holds Saturday. And inflation drop, expert demand lower interest rate. Dangote's wealth rises to $24 billion after refineries operation. And Tinubu, Obasanjo, others mourn as Edwin Clark dies at 97. And 54 trillion naira budget. A National Assembly raises recurrent vote, cuts 500 billion naira from capital spending. That will be all from the Punch. I understand we still have one more to go. Tribune.
Yeah. And on the Tribune this morning, we go straight to bank directors with non-performing insider loans to resign. CBN orders. Bank directors with non-performing insider loans to resign. CBN orders. And the writer that we have asks banks to regularize loans within 180 days. Okay. I think Nigerians will say thank you for that. I have Southwest governors will give Adebanjo a befitting funeral. Sanwo-Olu. Lagos Assembly crisis. DSS threatens lawsuit against broadcast stations. Okay. Don't disrupt peace of Niger Delta over mother of all protests. Niger Delta peace advocates warns. Edo Assembly approves death sentence for kidnappers. I think this is going to be a good one. Lots of Nigerians, especially those that have been part or affected by this, right? They would be really happy with that. So we have Edwin Clark, 25th May 1927 to 17th February 2025. Tinubu, Obasanjo, Jonathan, Atiku, governors, others pay tributes. Dogged fighter, uncompromising patriot, bridge builder. Okay, Jonathan kicks against deployment of military personnel for elections. And the writers there says only police, INEC should manage future elections. Obi says integrity of election determined by leadership in charge. Also, we have 789 ex-terrorists undergoing de-radicalization rehabilitation program. Okay, 789 ex-terrorists undergoing de-radicalization rehabilitation program. Hope it works. Appeal court affirms Oba Olaoye as son of Ogbomosho. Appeal court. Okay. And we go over top strip. We have MBS explains why Nigeria's inflation rate falls to 24.48% after rebasing. Has it fallen? Have you felt it, Femi?
Yeah, I think they are talking about year on year, not as it is. They are talking about what as compared to last year. You know, that's the parameter. Meaning from 2024 to 2025, the year under review. That's what they are saying. Not like it dropped from what it is to what is being reported. You know, the economic terms.
Okay, we have 5 days after passage. NAS adjusts portions of 2025 budget, retains 54.99 trillion naira total. Okay, reps to organize public hearing on new tax reform bills next Wednesday. And the writer that we have probe INEC over delay in conducting over 12 by-elections. And that will be all on the Nigerian Tribune this morning and on the newspaper segment also. We'll be going on this short break, and when we return, we'll be heading straight to talk about issues that concern us. Stay tuned.